First and foremost, my condolences to the Sanchez family.
Nah. You can't speak. We can't let this slide.
What are we keeping this in here?
A minute silence. Madam, nah, be serious. 30 seconds silence for Davinson Sanchez. You gotta do it, man.
Bro, I don't think you can understand. Bro turned him into a lawnmower, fam. I don't think you can understand.
The worst part about it is
yo, I'm tryna get my styling up in the city, so s'il vous plaît. As soon as my child can walk, it's straight Project Mbappé. But all the verbal, as soon as I hear that whistle, we get straight to the action. Come on lads, where's the passion? Do like Alamat C, wear headbands for the fashion. If the defenders drop back, we counter and then attack them. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball.
Yes, people, we're back for another episode of Eyes on the Ball. And obviously, I had a hamstring injury, as the man them rightfully informed you, man, last week. But I'm back, fully fit. Doctor said I passed the late fitness test. So I'm here, man. I mean, obviously, I wasn't here for the addition of Nadim to the front three, so we got a front four now. It's deadly. It's deadly. Front four is deadly now.
Whoa. He told you straight back into the starting lineup like that, bro?
I'm not.
you gotta get your match fitness up.
Gaffer said you're playing 10 for the next few games, and you're playing 10, man.
Do you know what's mad? The clause in my contract means I'm always gonna be in the lineup, fam. You get me?
You know, like that.
But now,
it's true.
What you man saying though? I hope everyone's good, man.
It's good.
Hey, I'm dandy, as they say.
Dandy, man.
I'm dandy.
Can't complain.
No, 100%, man. But let's even talk about it, fam. It's the season of love, and I mean, there's only one manager we can be showing love to right now, and that's Pep Guardiola. Because, fam, let's be honest, we all criticised him, and rightfully so. He deserved the criticism at the time. We questioned whether he was able to rebuild a team, whether he was able to take his team back to the promised land. Obviously, after winning back-to-back titles, it's very, very easy for a team to lose mentality, losing company. Fernandinho is not really in the lineup these days. So you're just all wondering, like, what's going on? Laporte injuries, Aguero, do you know what I'm saying? But De Bruyne now as well, but what, 15 wins on the spin? Like, that's
16 still.
16, yeah, man, bro. They're tearing up. Gundogan's looking like flipping Yaya Toure, bruv.
Oh, looking like Prime Kaka, fam.
Looking like Prime Kaka, fam. And do you know what's scary about him? He's in the box now. It's like instructions have been like, get in the box. I only want you in the box now. And he's adding those goals to his game. Like, let me be honest with you. I did not see this coming from Gundogan. I don't know about you, man, but I did not see this like level where consistently scoring.
I think he always had it in his locker, but the way that they used him before, it was like a deeper role. Do you know what I'm saying? But now that he's being given the license to go forward and that, he's showing what he's about. Let's bear in mind, this guy was sitting on the bench while they were winning titles. That just shows you this, like, City, the talent level is just different.
Managers love him though. Like, if you look at every manager that's played with him or ever been linked with him, they love the way he plays. So, but I think it was Pep made a change after one of their losses where he just told him, I need you higher up the pitch. And ever since then, the guy just keeps scoring goals, providing assists. So, Player of the Year, maybe.
Bro, I think the only thing stopping him from winning Player of the Year is maybe if, like, people are factoring a lot of the first half of the season, because a lot of this was like from December onwards. I think in 2021, he has more goals than Liverpool, which is nuts. You know what I'm saying? He's got 9 goals. Liverpool. Fam,
Messi,
He's got 9 goals for
Ronaldo.
21, fam. So Josh, talk about your player, man. What's he saying? Like, what are you liking? Like, did you see this coming? Honestly.
Just give me a sec, man.
Oh, gosh, come on, mate.
Sorry, I'm feeling a bit.
Put that
Feeling a bit
pinky down.
parched.
You
Feeling a bit
toss up.
parched. Do you know what I mean? First and foremost, my condolences to the Sanchez family.
Hey, nah. Nah. You can't speak. We can't let this slide. Hey.
What are we keeping this in here?
A minute silence. Hey, madam. Nah. Be serious. Hey, 30 seconds silence for Davinson Sanchez. We gotta do it, man.
Bro, I don't think you can understand. Bro turned him into a lawnmower, fam. I don't think you can understand.
The one part about it is he understood it too. He deep know what's happening and literally went head first, just like, I'm done.
Do you know what? Do you know what? You know what I think is mad? Like, you could see the meme form right before your eyes. Like, right
he didn't try to stop it. He didn't try to stop it.
Bro just looks like Bambi on ice, bro. Like, I just... Fam, so it is, bro, like, yeah.
No. I'll be serious. 30 seconds, please, man. Them silence. Let's just hold it, man. 30 seconds, please. Fam, Josh, go through. But Sanchez, man.
Hey, but yeah, man. That's the first thing. But to answer your question, bro, I think no one saw this coming, bro. Do you know what I mean? I think you could even ask Gundo, and probably he didn't see it coming either, man. But it's been an incredible turn of form. I'm happy for him as well because he's been one of those players that throughout this current City dynasty, I think he's been one of the players that's been kind of slept on. Do you know what I mean? The midfield has just been picked with David Silva, De Bruyne, Fernandinho, and like Darren said, there's times where he's had to play that deeper role. But now we're seeing a much different role, man. I think he's pretty much doing like, it's kind of like a hybrid between the De Bruyne and the David Silva role, man. I've been watching his movement a lot, bruv, and it's not just getting into the box, but it's his timing as well. If you look at his first goal on the weekend, you'll see that he was just pondering on the edge of the box, looked around him, looks left to right, he paused for a sec. Then when the space kind of opened up, then he darted in. So by that time, it was too late, man. The penalty win as well. Do you know what I mean? I think, I don't know, man. I think a part of it is good coaching on Pep's part, and I think another part of it is just confidence. Do you know what I mean? When you're confident and you're playing with confidence, that's what happens, man. But we've always kind of, I can't even say we've always kind of seen this out of Gundogan because we've known that he's a top player. Do you know what I mean? We've seen that at Dortmund.
Let me add to it, innit? Just give 1 point. I think this false 9 thing has been a blessing for him, fam, in terms of
100%.
them late. Do you know what I mean? Basically,
100%.
He doesn't have to be stringent in his role. He can basically do whatever the game calls for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all 6 of them, man, it's basically just you, man. Just do whatever you want.
Bro,
Just whatever the defense is allowing you to do, just take advantage of that. And
it's true, and I think it's a huge credit to Pep as well. And I think that when you have intelligent players, you are allowed to kind of play that system. And I think that the difficulty with a false 9 is that the defenders and the CDMs are in no man's land because you don't know who to pick up. Do you know what I mean? If Foden drops in deep, who picks him up? Is the centre back going, or you call him back your CDM? Do you know what I mean? And your CDM, he doesn't want to be put in that position, but do you know what I mean? And that's when that happens. Now you then have the overlapping runs from Gundo and whoever's in midfield with him. But yeah, man, I think big props to him, big props to Pep as well. And like Danny touched on, he faced a lot of criticism earlier this season. Some of it, was warranted, man. But like I said last week, man, there's certain managers you can never count out. Do you know what I'm saying? You can never count out, man. And I think there's certain managers like Pep that when things aren't going right, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean he's washed or nothing like that. It's that, fam, at the end of the day, it's football, innit? Nothing always goes your way all the time. And I said it as well, man. He was just working on some things, but trying to get things right. And he's done that, man. Do you know what I mean? There's not much to say, really.
And fam, he's basically done it on the fly because remember, you did the De Bruyne thing at false 9 at first. That was new, and then you were thriving with him banging that position. Now you got Foden banging that position, so it's like Pep just. I think he was just figuring it out, but at the end of the day, the best managers they figure it out. Do you know what I mean? They figure it out.
And I think we found different ways to win as well. Even though that sounds mad, but we lined up with Jesus playing up front. Yeah. You don't know what lineup we're going to come in with next week, whether it's Gundo playing false 9 or Foden playing
but even Jesus was drifting out wide, fam. Jesus was drifting out wide.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing though is two things. First, the one I will address is I would even disagree with you. I didn't see it coming. Like, look, Gundogan has been a top quality player. Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, even to reiterate it, then like I didn't see it coming, fam, because Gundogan he's been a quality player, but I've questioned his role. He's never really necessarily had a role, because even in the role he had in previous campaigns, where it's to come into the side and solidify the midfield, I didn't feel he did that. I didn't feel he did that. Like, I didn't feel he had that. You had that extra piece of protection when Gundogan played. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like what he said.
Maybe that's not what his skill set
no,
is. You
bro, he freed
that's
it
how
up.
he started.
That's how he started.
Yeah,
but that's not how he's ending.
The way things panned out, he's looking like Bruno now, or even better.
Pep freed it up. That's as simple as it is, bro. Gundogan has what 9 goals in like what 8 games, and
he has 11 goals overall.
11 goals.
Yeah. And I'm saying, no, not in the league.
No, I'm talking in the City team.
I think it's Foden.
Might still be Foden.
What was the question?
Oh, in the league though. In the league, it's probably Gundogan.
He's top scorer. He's got 11 goals. The second closest is 9 goals.
Yeah, but in all comps is Foden, and in all comps is Foden. But no, the main thing for me is that Pep freed it up, man. And the key word is, and I'm gonna take a page out of Darren's book and say tactical ambiguity, fam. Like, you don't really understand how City are. Like, obviously it's tiki taka. Like, obviously it's good football, but it's not the same.
You know what to expect, so you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not the same as the City team that we've seen where it's Aguero, De Bruyne, Sane, Sterling. You know they're trying to get out wide and then do the little cutback, and then Aguero's there. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, fam, bro, Edison plays a long ball in the box and it's Gundogan who's controlling it. And it's 1v1 with the last man. Like,
and Daniel, look at how much that contrast from what we're saying at the beginning of the season, where teams were giving us the possession, but we're just keeping the ball. We weren't really threatening with the ball. But look at the transition now. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just scary, bro. Because once you that final third, you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's coming, man.
You're creating chances basically however you want. Do you know what I mean? And all the guys are similar players. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Foden, all them, man. Any of them can basically say, I'm going to do that for these 5-10 minutes. Now, you switch roles with me. No one can hack it right now.
Yeah.
And you're keeping clean sheets. So it's mad.
The other day, I was wondering, like, after they played Liverpool, I was kind of thinking, like, how did Pep turn what they were? Because remember, at the start of the season, they weren't very good. And then they were not playing good football. And I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this game, the West Ham away game. I think they lost 1-0 or something like that. And I remember that game apparently.
Oh yeah, it was 1-1. It was 1-1.
Well, yeah. So City, you know how they like to have that 5 spread across at the top. Yeah. Apparently, like, all the guys were just static. No one was moving. So like Kyle Walker was, you know, how the fullbacks drifting to midfield. Kyle Walker was drifting into midfield. Had no one to pass it to, and he just ended up losing the ball. And then Pep came up with this phrase where he said, "When you don't have the ball, you need to move." And that's what this false 9 thing is. If you notice, Man City players are always moving. Like, Gundogan's always trying to go somewhere. Sterling is always trying to go somewhere. Bernardo Silva is trying to go somewhere. And that false 9 thing actually helped, because it meant that there's no Aguero to just stand, you know, at the top of the lineup. You had to find someone to do it for you. So it's a credit to him
it removed the pressure on Gabriel Jesus. You know what I mean? Because now we can come in and it's like, you don't have to be the main man, bro. Just chip in the way everyone else is.
I think another thing, just before Daniel caps it off, is that one thing that we kind of got back is our press. Our press has been very good, man. I think the typical City side, we used to lose the ball, get it back quick, and that's not something that we really saw at the beginning of the season, man. But now, in as much as we're fluid going forward, it's as if like we always maintain some sort of structure to where, if it does break down, we have the players in the right positions to pick it back up. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if like it's just freestyle football and everyone just go where you want, because when it does break down, you're going to need cover for the defense. And particularly in the game in the weekend, I saw Bernardo Silva doing a lot of that, man.
Yeah.
We gotta give
I think
Rodri credit as well. Still,
Yeah,
Rodri.
Rodri's not even my
He's
favorite
improved.
guy, but even he's. Do you know what I mean? He's doing his
He's
bit, man.
improved.
But whenever
Huh?
no, I'm just saying whenever they lose the ball, they always have 5 men back anyway.
Exactly.
They always have 5 men to
exactly.
cover.
But that's what's so interesting though, because the Man City of not old, but the beginning of this season and last season, like there was weaknesses in the side, so you could say this is what we're gonna go at if you wanted to win this game. Now, different people can come into the side and it's still the same system, and they know their roles. Everyone understands what they're doing, and this is even a word to all the managers in the league, fam. And I even had to learn this the hard way because I said Klopp's system was sustainable.
I was going to say that. Remember we had that discussion?
No, facts.
Cool,
I was
cool.
totally wrong.
Thank you.
Take that on the chin, fam. Fam, at the end of the day, what Pep's done, and this is a message to all the managers in the league, fam. Pep's created a system where you create opportunities regardless, as in opportunities are created. And the thing I get mad at is when Mandem don't create a system that allows their players to thrive, that allows them to create opportunities. That's why everyone has every right to grill Mourinho for not creating a system that allows his team to create opportunities. Because, fam, all this unsustainable style of play, and obviously, Darren, you when you talk about Man United, that's like your whole mantra about Man United. It's not sustainable, and that Tottenham would fall in the same category. When Lampard was under Chelsea, same category. Arsenal, Arteta, same category. I mean, we're gonna. I think the same category as well. I mean, forget the Leeds game. Leeds will always give you space to run. Have Arsenal been creating opportunities like that? I don't know. We'll talk later, innit? But at the end of the day, the main thing for me is that Pep has adjusted, innit? And he deserves every credit for it. But before we move on from Pep, the question I have to you, man, is that the fact that he's in the best form of his life, probably you'd say, as a man, like this patch of form is one of the best we've seen since like maybe the back-to-back title winnings, like runs. Does he have any excuses not to win the Champions League? That's what we said we were judging him by at the beginning of the season.
When we done our predictions for the beginning of the season, I picked our second because I personally felt that we were going to dedicate more of our energy to the Champions League. However, in saying that, I don't think I am going to give him an excuse, man, because Pep's undoing in the Champions League isn't down to the opposition. It's down to him. Do you know what I mean? He self-destructs a lot of the time. And when you look across the board at world football right now, who are the strongest teams? Cool, Bayern Munich are there, but even then, Bayern Munich aren't the same team they were last year. Barcelona,
they're still the best team in the world.
No, they're still the best team. But if you played this Bayern Munich against last year's Bayern Munich wins. They're not the same Bayern Munich, even though they are essentially the same. But they were stronger last year. Do you know what I mean? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Barcelona are washed. Real Madrid are struggling.
I tell you, Atletico Madrid.
But then that's what I'm saying. But look at the level of competition now. Do you know what I mean? Atletico Madrid. Fair enough, they're a tough team, but like I said, okay, cool. So really, if you think about it, there's about 2 tough teams, really and truly, in the competition.
3. I'd say Liverpool in the Champions League are all, especially against a Premier League side, always different gravy, man. But
cool, fair enough.
Especially if they get fans.
Can they even make it again?
If they get fans. If they get fans, I saw a tweet. Someone said Liverpool are just spirit bomb squad because they need fans back in the game.
But yeah, man, I don't think I'll give him much of an excuse. I think if he loses in the final, it will be commendable. But like I said, innit?
Nah.
Like I said, innit? For me personally, there's not. Pep can't do anything in the Prem that will change my mind about his legacy in the Premier League, innit? Like that one is.
And what is that legacy? Is he above a Mourinho?
Is he above Mourinho? I think they're on the same level. I think if he wins his Premier League title, it's above Mourinho. I don't think there's a debate about that. Personally, if he wins his Premier League,
it's not even it's when. You might as well assume. Bake that in.
Wait, chill. You're trying to judge.
Let's be honest. City are winning the title.
Is Pep above Mourinho? Is Pep above Mourinho? Darren,
considering you've won, for me,
he said yeah.
I think yeah, man. I love Mourinho. Like I love what Mourinho brought to the league. But listen, Pep's coming on a Barca thing, and he's doing it in the Prem.
So what is Pep a top?
So Pep is the second
manager of all time in the Prem.
No, second, fam. If you're saying he's above Mourinho, he's second. You're saying Pep Guardiola is second best manager in Premier League history.
Oh nah. No, when you put it like that,
how are you going to gauge it then? How are you going to?
So then, how are we gauging it though?
So where did you have? Where did you have
I
Mourinho when
was
we
just
had that
looking at it
discussion?
as head to head compared to Mourinho, innit?
So where did you have Mourinho then all the time? Let's get
In
into
that,
it,
in
man.
that discussion, where did you have Mourinho? I think you had him third, didn't it?
I had him third.
Who's second for you?
I had Wenger ahead of him.
Please.
You know, Arsenal fans are delusional, innit? You know they're absolutely delusional. No,
Wait.
Wait. You men are delusional. Like, I don't understand.
Pep versus Jose, and I was leaning Pep, but to say the second best manager in Premier League history.
No, but no. Okay, cool.
No, but
Darren,
why? Let's put the facts on the table, though.
That's
Put
what
the
I'm saying.
facts
So,
on the
Darren,
table.
if he wins this season, what has Mourinho have over him in the Premier League? What does Mourinho have over him in the Premier League?
That defensive record. That defensive record in that first season.
Yeah, but look at Pep.
That's
Look
wild.
at Pep's offensive record, though.
No, but Mourinho had the goals record. It was Pep who obviously beat it.
Yeah.
But different time, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to consider that context.
And also, let's take
Pep has the
into
record. Go on,
I was going to take into consideration that when Jose came to the Premier League, he was kind of Pep before Pep. Like he was the new innovative one.
Yeah,
No,
but
I hear
he didn't bring the style.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yes, he did.
When Jose came to the Premier League, the Premier League was a 4-4-2.
Flat. As in
Jose
flat.
came, he played a
4-3-3 and changed it
I'm not
up.
talking about formations and that. I'm talking about
every team in the Premier League to League Two plays out the back. No, every team from the Premier League to the Championship plays out the back. Before Pep Guardiola came, that wasn't happening, bro.
Mourinho,
that wasn't happening.
No, but the argument could be made. No,
Every
hold
team plays out the
on.
back.
Hold
Every
on.
team.
But the same argument could be made in terms of Mourinho. And I could even say he did it twice because Mourinho came into the league 4-3-3, revolutionized in terms of the fact that other teams started adopting the 4-3-3 model, then came back to the league and won the league with a 4-2-3-1. And what happened? Everyone started using the 4-2-3-1 a lot as well.
Yeah,
with the 10.
But my thing is for me, it's less about
It's two different things. It depends on what you value.
Yeah,
more,
exactly.
I hear it.
I put more weight on
Style of play. And that's fair enough.
And City are out here blowing teams away for fun. Do you know what I mean? They just won 3-0 against Tottenham. Tottenham were trying their best just to hold them off, and there's nothing they could do. City were taking the piss. I just feel like I think Pep's obviously got more tools. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously, that's how I said the talent that they're working with is just different. Like Gundogan, Mahrez, them man were on the bench.
But then, do you know why that's unfair though? Because when things go wrong, you'll get onto him for that same exact reason, man. I think.
No, I'm not saying that's like a detriment. I'm just saying that's the fact, isn't it? But I don't just want to we can't just look at Mourinho's positives. Like he has been a failure for us. Do you know what I mean?
And whose failures? No.
A failure is a stretch. He's been a failure at Tottenham. He wasn't a failure at Man United. I disagree with that. Just because he didn't win them the Premier League, that doesn't mean he was a failure.
I don't even think he's been a failure.
Apart from his first season, he underachieved.
Pardon?
Apart from his first season, he underachieved at United.
He'll tell you he overachieved with that squad.
I disagree with that assessment then. Like, you can't really use the assessment of how many times a guy got fired when he's a serial winner. Like, he's won literally at every club.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, but
if you're coming,
I'm saying
Premier League,
remember, we're talking about Premier League legacy. So, of course, what's it called? If you want to say the Man United thing comes into it, then fair enough in it. But he even broke it down in an interview. Obviously, a lot of United fans disagree with it, but I agree with him to an extent. Like, he broke down what previous managers did, and then he said, "What have I done in the Premier League?" And you can clearly see he did better. And he's basically saying that he overachieved with the squad. A lot of the things that Mandem are saying is the problem with Man United till this day. And then the other point before you go into them is that. Literally, for me personally, it just literally comes down to what you value. Because if you look at it now, Pep obviously has records in the league, but Mourinho also has a record that I don't think will ever get beaten. 15 goals, 7 penalties in that season as well. So I think it was 7 or 6 penalties. So that means what? We conceded about, do the maths for me, 8 goals, fam, from open play. Do you know how mad that is in the league? Like in a league season. That's crazy. Like keeping a clean sheet, was a Mourinho thing, and he brought that to, like, he said, there's a way to keep a clean sheet and to win games and finish them off 2-0 and you're done. Like, you don't need to exert that much energy.
I prefer the offensive.
That's fair enough.
That's the 2000 Ravens mantra where he said, "Just get me one goal and we'll win the game."
I'll win the game.
Okay, so go to Pep and the Champions League first. the only team that's on their level is Bayern Munich, but just above them. I don't think there's any other team, even Atletico, for how well they're playing this season. I don't think Atletico can beat Man City. Liverpool in the Champions League, different breed. I want to see them on Tuesday and let's see what Liverpool are about. But as for honestly, I don't know. I think anybody could convince me with this answer. I was looking at when the question came today. I even called my dad and asked him, "What did you think?" Because I really don't know. It's either way. As for Jose, that record of because he came instantly, he took over a team that hadn't won, I think, in 50 years, the league. Took over a developing side or an improving side, and he took them to the title. And not only did he take them to the title, but he dominated that Premier League season. One loss, and this was against an Arsenal team that were on the backside of an Invincibles run, an always competitive Ferguson team, a Champions League winning or close to Champions League winning Liverpool team. So it was a competitive time. So for what Jose did. As for Pep, you can say the only real competitor he's had was a one-season wonder Antonio Conte team, and obviously Liverpool's side. So that competition factor comes in. True. But then you look at the fact.
I mean, you fair enough in it, but then when you talk about the Premier League's all-time greatest teams, Mourinho didn't have to face any of those teams. Pep has though.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Which
Man United's team.
He lost to them though.
Yeah, he lost to those guys.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
What are you talking about?
No,
I'm saying.
You're saying individual. I'm talking about stature though. Liverpool aren't an all-time great Premier League team when we're talking about the top five.
That Premier League team we're talking about when we're talking about who our top 5 Premier League teams of all time are. Liverpool are there, bro.
Liverpool are not there.
Huh?
Which Liverpool side? This one, last one.
It's all the same. The error. They're in the conversation. They're in the conversation.
They're not top 5.
You didn't put them top 5.
A lot of people would put them top 5.
A lot of people would put them.
You think a lot of people would? Fam,
yeah.
Tell me the Premier League team that are better than Mourinho's 0405, Invincibles, Man United,
we know
Man
that.
City.
But the point is, a lot of people would argue that Liverpool are in that mix, and if
would
not
argue, innit?
6th or 7th.
But my point is, not even my point, but the general point is that what is harder, one great competitor or a range of competitors? Like maybe they weren't all-time great Premier League sides, but bro,
they were tough.
It was called the Big Four for a reason, as in that was not this. None of this top
coming
6.
off the Invincibles.
I think not none of this top 6 stuff that we're doing right now. It's the Big Four.
Didn't that same Liverpool team that lost to them in the league knock them out in the Champions League? Or was that the year after? So that was a good team.
Yeah, Liverpool knocked out Chelsea in the Champions League. That's how you know.
Nadim, when you mentioned that he did it in his first season, I think that's important context.
When did Pep finish in his first season?
Yeah,
he finished 4th.
Let me add
4th.
No. Of course, there's context. Of course, I'm not.
I'm saying
in the second
giving points.
3rd season 1.
No, but we're giving points where we can. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's nothing to take away from Pep. That's putting pennies in Jose's hat. That basically breaking records in your first season in the league. Yeah, that's legit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's special. But and when we're talking about competition, Henry was still about them days. You know, Henry was still about like the competition definitely was more. But I think like he just hasn't been the same guy as of late, innit? And it's hard to see Pep going other. Obviously, we ain't seen it, but it holds him back that he hasn't been the same guy as of late.
Yeah, it's harsh, isn't it? Because obviously, when you look at Mourinho's tenure, it's much larger. So obviously, there's more years to pick from, where things haven't gone so well. Whereas Pep's, I think across the board has been a steady. Do you know what I mean? It's not
1 or 2 years, but
1 or 2 years, but in totality, do you know what I mean? It's been very good. So it's not fair in that sense, man. But
do you know what it is? No,
Josh.
No, I hear you, and I can understand if someone said Pep's above Mourinho. I just think like this is where the eras thing comes into it. Now in this era, if you don't finish first, you haven't had a good season. Like that's what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like man, them literally say, bro, look at Mourinho's team that finished second with United, and United fans will die before they say that was a good year at the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
listen, you don't get trophies for finishing second though. Like, obviously, it might be a good season, But at the end of the day, it's not anything that you're taking home. Yeah, I'm saying you're not taking home a second place finish, bro. You're
So
not.
what? Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pep has more English trophies than Mourinho, innit?
English trophies.
I think the number might be the same because they got like
Because
three.
he's got 2 Premier League titles.
Free. Just make it free, bro. It's free.
No,
No, we have to make it 2. Jose has
got 2 Premier League
remember,
titles.
Jose has like 2 league cups.
Yeah,
Pep has
Pep
like
has 2 as well,
3.
no?
Three cups.
Pep's got 3. He's got 3.
Has
Jose's
Jose
got 3.
Yeah, Jose's got 3. No, Jose's got 4. He won
No, he's
2
got
at
3.
Chelsea. He's got 3.
He's got 3. He's got 1 FA Cup and he's got 3 titles. And I think he's got what's that? And then Man City, Pep's got 2 titles, 1 FA Cup, 3 League Cups, and 1 Community Shield.
So once Pep
I
wins
think
the
Jose
title,
has
So after
It's
the
neck and
season,
It's
So
neck
after
and
the season, Pep's just
But
about.
then-
that's why I say it comes down to style.
But then also,
No, that's unfair.
But then
Man.
also,
Come on, you can't do
another
that.
thing,
No, but it just depends on what you prioritize. Go
Oh,
ahead.
style in terms of preference. Oh, style in terms of preference.
but not, yeah, if it was based on style, I'm going with Pep every single day.
Of
the week.
course.
No, but it
Yeah,
depends
also-
on what you want to base it on.
But also, I think Pep has won, like, he has a higher winning percentage in the Premier League than Jose has, or I think in England, in fact.
No, but that's
Yeah.
because obviously Jose has gone to Man United and Tottenham. Which
But yeah,
obviously
if you just take his Chelsea time,
oh, has Pep got more?
yeah, he's got more wins. It's what, a higher percentage.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good
I think
debate.
it's tough.
Man. It's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
debate.
yeah,
It's
it's
tough.
Yeah.
Look, Wenger's involved too. Wenger has what, 3 league titles, 4 FA Cups. Like, no, he was a winner. Like at the end of the day, even though his tenure ended badly, he was a winner as well, man.
It's done the same thing with Mourinho now because a lot of people remember Mourinho with United and Mourinho with Tottenham. When Mourinho first came, he was incredible. I hated him. The guy top notch. And now obviously
Go on, finish.
yeah, but the way it's great, the way it ended at Man United and the way it ended at Tottenham, that sacking thing does come into play, even though it's unfair. The fact that they asked you to leave it, though they made you leave, essentially, it looks bad. It just leaves like a little funny bone. Like just
100%.
So if we're strictly going by Chelsea Mourinho, would that change any of your answers at all?
I'm taking
Take out
Chelsea
Man
Mourinho
United.
over Man City.
what?
I'm taking Chelsea Mourinho. No, but
Hey, let's also bear in mind that he came back and had the second tenure. He won his third title in the second tenure. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't in the same window. Pep's about to win 3 in 4 years. Do you know what I mean? And he did the clean sweep with all the League Cup, the FA Cup. Like
I think that's a bit unfair though, because if you look at Mourinho when he left Chelsea, because he didn't get sacked from Chelsea, he left Chelsea, or if you want to say it was a sacking, whatever. He was mad successful, bro. He went to go and win the clean sweep with Inter Milan straight after. Went to go win.
we can't judge him.
No, I know, but I'm saying that if you can't base him leaving the first time as a detriment to him. If you're saying Pep winning it 3 times in 4 years is points in his pocket, then calm.
Yeah, my point is basically we say 3 titles, but Pep's 3 are more impressive because they're all in the same window. Jose did 2 in like 2 back to back, and then he won
2 in 2
the
years.
third one. Yeah, and then the third one a couple years later.
But then it just depends on what you think is more impressive. Then 3 and 4 years in terms of the same window, or coming in your first season and winning it back. So he in his first 2 years in England, he won both titles that were on offer, and he spent
the first season is what boosts up the Jose thing.
But
But 3 and 4,
as well. It's not like he went to Manchester United that were this winning organization. He went to a team that weren't winning.
Okay. Different question then. Both of their best teams. Which are you picking?
Man City.
No, that's silly. That's silly.
How's that silly?
It's Man City easily.
Yeah.
But that's the composition of the team. That's nothing to do with the managers.
It is because they compiled their teams.
No, that doesn't make sense because, fam, is Mourinho gonna go and get like flipping Ronaldinho and Kaká? And like, if he had Ronaldinho and Kaká, would you say Chelsea's team is better? Like, it doesn't. In my opinion, that doesn't make sense.
No,
who did Pep bring in? Talking as if Pep brought in world beaters. He didn't.
and I think that's like
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No,
What world beaters did Pep bring in?
Serious ballers, man.
No. Pep bought players where we could see the potential was there. He obviously, bro, we give Pep all the credit for turning good players into world-class players, but Pep brought players that everyone could see. Bro, no one had points in Drogba's pocket when he got grabbed. Can you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
No one had points in Ricardo Carvalho's pockets. Obviously, yeah, he did win the Champions League with him, but no one thought he was going to be that. No one had points in Petr Cech's pocket in terms of him becoming like top 2 Premier League keepers that we've ever seen. No one had fam, the only player guaranteed, or the only two players, I wouldn't even put Terry in the conversation for that first season because Terry molded himself into a great centre back. The only 2-3 players that I'd put in Lampard, in Mourinho's pocket that were quality players from the outset: Lampard, Ashley Cole. That's it. Yeah. Only 2 guys.
But what I'd say is it's less about the lineup, innit? More about the style. Do you get what I mean? The lineups,
and that's where I can agree. If your preference is you like how his team is built offensively and how he plays football, bro, I can't like. There's nothing you can. I'm not gonna go and argue. Yes, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I'd even say Pep's football, of course, is better. However, I appreciate how Mourinho could come into the league and literally shut up shop, but still win effectively. Like I have value for that, especially in a time where we do not see defending anymore, where defending is in the bin. Like Mourinho's Chelsea team is nostalgia, fam. Do you know what I'm saying?
I heard
but
that.
fam, no. We spent time on this one. Still, we'll see what Mourinho's saying.
Yeah, listen, Pep's paint is still wet. Yeah, I mean, Pep ain't done.
Yeah, I think Mourinho is done though in terms of Premier League stuff. Like,
oh really?
It's done, man. Yeah, it's done, man. I think it's tough. It's done.
He needs to leave, bro, before his legacy gets tarnished like Arsene.
Where's he? Wait, okay, yeah, true. But where's he going?
Where's he going? He's gone everywhere, man.
Go back to Portugal or something. Like,
I'm telling him, bro, go
right out into the sunset.
Football. Let him be the coach of Portugal.
Yeah, no,
let him be
no.
Coach.
Just go right out into the sunset in Portugal. You've proved yourself all over the world.
No, international football is already dead. I don't need Mourinho to play defensive tactics for Portugal and leave João Felix on the bench.
Defensive tactics will win you tournaments, man.
I don't care. No,
you just need to win, bro.
No,
you could make an argument though that he'd make the current Portugal team stupid because Ronaldo, João Felix, Bruno, just tell them, man, leave them up top and just be solid on D. Fam, madness.
You leave him on the bench.
No. Who's on the bench?
I think he should go back to Inter.
To do what?
Yeah,
to do what?
To do it, run it back.
I ain't doing that same again, man.
He's going back to coach the
you know the guys he had and the guys that are there now. He's gonna have younger again.
No, wait.
There's no running, bro.
He had Wesley Sneijder, Diego Milito, Samuel Eto'o, Dejan Stankovic.
And now we have to on Lautaro Martinez.
Hey.
Lautaro Martinez don't belong in the same conversation as Milito and him and them.
Wait, what? I thought you liked it.
Nadim.
Bro, pack it in.
Anyway, serious diversion though. I didn't really want to bring it up, but fam, I'm gonna have to bring it up, fam. Klopp obviously conceded the title, and like
sad,
I think that's big. Like,
sad.
Obviously, aside from the fact that obviously, condolences to his family, of course.
No, but just the way, like, fam, right now he just looks like he's just done. He's just done.
I think that's. But let's keep it football though. Like,
no, let's keep it football because I got criticism for him still.
Surely, Van Dijk can't be the. Obviously, I posed the argument. Hold on. I posed the argument that before Van Dijk came to Liverpool, where did Liverpool finish 2 seasons in a row? They finished fourth. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Now Van Dijk came in January. Obviously, excuse that season. In fact, they got to the Champions League final that season. And then the season after, they win the league. So then I said the argument is Van Dijk is basically the difference between fourth and first.
No, I think it's
more to that, man.
Too many moving pieces this season, man.
Listen, we always say on this pod, let your praise be as loud as your criticism. I'm going to flip it. Let your criticism be as loud as your praise, bro. You were praising this Klopp guy for how he's transformed Liverpool and how he's created a system and a structure that's near enough unbeatable and They're the best team. Bro, you're telling me you lose one player, suddenly your whole squad can't function. That's poor. Fair enough, you can give the credit to Van Dijk for being
Best of
a great centre back, but bro, you're supposed. This is the guy that Arsenal was the best manager in the Premier League. He loses one player, and suddenly his whole system.
But he was
his-
right.
He was right.
Joe Gomez is out.
Bro, it was too premature. No,
Diego
I
Jota.
don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Do you know why I don't want to hear that? Do you know why I don't want to hear that? Because last season, when Pep had to play Rodri and Fernandinho at the back, you might was still giving this. Keep the same energy for both managers, bro, because they're going through identical things. What Pep went through last year, Klopp is going through this year. And you man slated Pep for it. He said off the back of a title-winning campaign, bro. You man said that off the back of a title-winning campaign, you can't come in. You didn't make adjustments. Company left. You didn't make any adjustments for that. Same way Liverpool now. They had a window where they could have bought decent centre backs. They didn't capitalize on that, bro. Criticize them in the same fashion. Klopp doesn't take accountability, bro. He doesn't take accountability. He's the biggest baby in football, man. He's the biggest baby in football. Like,
I mean,
Klopp is a baby. No, he's a baby. He's a baby. He's always complaining, always crying. Never takes accountability. He's a baby, fam. Criticize this guy how he should be criticized. I don't want to hear it. I've had enough.
I never criticized Guardiola for last season because I figured that fourth season is always the hardest season anyway. So I always thought Liverpool would struggle this season. I didn't think they'd be fourth and fighting for Champions League spot. I don't think Van Dijk is the difference now from first to fourth because I have to give credit to the other players around them and I have to say that they're better than they were when Van Dijk came. Salah is a better player now, so is Mane. I'm assuming Firmino is, but anyway. So
wait, repeat. You think Firmino isn't better now than when Van Dijk came?
I like to assume he is, but he's not really showing.
Don't assume.
I'd use the word more mature, not better.
Yeah, okay, fine. He's a more mature player now. But that first season, the Leicester game, that first 70, 75 minutes was the best I'd seen them play for a long time. They conceded one goal, and all of a sudden it seemed like, oh no, it just seemed like they were scrabbled as a team.
Man did the oh no.
Yeah. It just seemed mentally as a team, it just seemed like they went, we can't do this again. We can't be in another tie game. Especially after they felt like they were dominating. So it feels like to me, a team is taking on the personality of his leader right now. And the leader you can see in press conferences, he seems all over the place. He seems rattled. He seems frustrated. And it seems that that's what the team is turning into. And whenever when they say pressure makes diamonds and pressure bursts pipes, it seems like when there's pressure on this Liverpool team right now, they take the personality of their manager, which is a frustrated figure, and all of a sudden they don't know what to do. Yeah. So
it goes back to a conversation that we had a couple episodes ago, in terms of I was putting more of the onus on the front three because you man have to be able to not pick up the slack, but rise to the occasion. Like, more the burden is going to be on your back without Van Dijk, especially when Henderson and Fabinho have had to bank centre back. You know what I'm saying? That man should. I'm not saying just suddenly explode or something or be Salah of that first season, but you got to do more, man. Specifically, Mane. Salah's been balling, but Mane got to do more, man.
But are we going to talk about how Ndidi pocketed Thiago today, or is that not?
Before we get to that, Klopp can't control Alisson doing what Alisson's been doing these last couple of games. That's purely down to Alisson. I don't know what he's been doing. He can't control Kabak playing. What he can't control is putting Henderson back in midfield. I'm tired of seeing him a centre back. Liverpool don't seem like the same team when he's not playing in midfield. And this is hard for me to say because I was a Jordan Henderson critic. But right now, he seems like the most important player. So you need to get him back into midfield.
Oh, but based on the way they play, innit, he's just so important in terms of the engine, and then just being a supply line to the front guys, fam. So.
But then if you look at that midfield when Thiago came on, you had Thiago and Curtis Jones, two technical type of midfielders. That's not who Liverpool were last season. So they clearly haven't mastered this idea of playing as a technical team.
Listen, I'm gonna before Daniel goes on, I'm literally just gonna reiterate what Darren said on previous episodes, man. As a world-class manager, you have to figure out different ways to win.
Yeah,
that's just point blank, period. And referring back to the conversation that me and Daniel had at some point, Klopp's structure, it was too finite. it was too reliant on the components of, do you know what I mean, his fullbacks getting in, getting high and putting crosses and stuff like that. And in as much as it was a dominant system to play in, there were holes in it. And once they get exposed, what brand of football are you going to play next? What he's going through now.
Where do you pivot to?
Exactly. What's your next rotation? Where are you going to go to next? And I think that's the dilemma that Liverpool are in now. They're so used to playing that one system that now that it's all kind of the shit hits the fan. What now? What next? What brand of football are you going to play next?
And that's where Thiago should be key. Like he should be the guy that you're building the new system around. But I just feel
I disagree with that, Darren, because I said it last week, bro. He's not a guy that you bring in and he's gonna change the whole dynamic of your team. That's not what he's there for. That's not his role. That's never been his role. He's never been.
He's a conductor, fam. He's a conductor.
I will say this though, before Daniel goes, you'll see it all the time. Managers' philosophies will always stay the same. They always believe in the same things, but the system can change. So if Klopp is not changing his system, that's on him. But the philosophy of we want to be an intense team to play against should always stay the same. Brandon Rodgers has changed his formation multiple times in the last couple of years, but he still has the same principle of we're going to play out the back and we're going to try and play through the middle, get the ball over to Jimmy Vardy. So that principle should always stay the same. But
I totally hear that, and obviously I'm seeing it now. Like, fam, it's the beauty of football. Really and truly, the reason why I thought their system was sustainable was because of not only the way that they were playing, but when different players would come into the team, nothing changed. As in, they weren't a detriment to the team. Bro, we were even saying Naby Keita, like, his tenure at Liverpool has been injury ravaged, but when he came into the side, you could see this guy was a baller. Like, you could see that he was contributing, he was scoring goals, getting pre-assists, getting assists, like here and there, and then he'd get injured and then he'd be out. So you just saw that the fundamentals were there. And that's why I said that even when Van Dijk went down, bro, there's a reason why they were still top till like December when everything collapsed. Like, Van Dijk got injured in October and they were top for a while. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I still thought that they had the components to win the league. But then when you look at things like, look, I'd even say, and this is the same reason why I said, like, I obviously don't want to go into the world-class debate, but this is the same reason why I was saying that there doesn't have to be, or there don't have to be world-class players in a particular position if they don't meet the bar. If they don't meet the bar, they don't have to, fam.
Who are you talking about specifically?
Trent Robertson,
Alexander-Arnold, and
Robertson. Until they meet, like, even Cancelo, who's playing in the form of his life, he doesn't meet the bar yet. Like, these men need to, like, fam. And the reason why I was saying hold on. I beg. Hold on. Their attacking abilities were world-class, out of this world. We've never seen fullbacks put up numbers in terms of assists and control. Like, they were controlling games with their fullbacks. Like, you couldn't stop them. Do you know what I'm saying? But defensive deficiencies, like now it's actually catching up with them. It's that it's causing them to lose games. Like, my boy said this to me. Yeah, he said he's not even sure Trent could make the transition to a centre midfielder because he has the top three, or he's the top three most dispossessed guy in Premier League history in terms of giving the ball away. Do you know what? Do you know how crazy that is? In 3 games in the last 2 years, he's top 3 in terms of performances against certain teams, losing the ball, and he constantly does it. And then when you talk about facing guys, Sterling, Harvey Barnes, wingers have been eating him up. Do you know what I'm saying?
You man don't think Trent is world class?
I think he's a top quality player, but world class needs to be a premium.
Just because the position is saturated doesn't mean
there has to be.
I definitely understand that. But my thing is, you have to be careful because go on.
No, just the last thing just before you go is I'd even say someone like Marcelo. Even though Marcelo had defensive deficiencies, bro, he showed he could defend. He wasn't a weak, he wasn't a detriment to the team. Yeah.
As his career progressed. When
he became the world-class player that we know him.
Trent's only 22, 20, 21, 22. Do you know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Why are we rushing it then? Like, why are we rushing it?
No, but that's why I'll go into the next point as far as it's tricky and it can be dangerous comparing guys to guys of the past. Do you know what I'm saying? Firstly, in the fact that we don't want to get sucked into the nostalgia. Secondly, in the aspect the game has changed. So, like what Trent is doing at the position we haven't really seen in the Premier League. Do you know what I'm saying? So comparing it to guys of the past, he's creating a lane for himself. you know what I'm saying? So we can't judge him based on what guys in the past have done when his role is completely different. Similar to that, like when we say world class, we're talking about the current world. We're not talking about, do you know what I mean, guys of the past. That's why I think it's hard to say, you haven't met the threshold as far as what the guys before you did.
Cool.
Because we're talking about where things are at the moment.
Cool. Even if you don't want to do
Even
that,
if the standard has dropped.
Nadim, you can go. Even if you don't want to go, fam. Let's look at it like this, yeah. Cool. When we were in school, yeah. What they used to do, yeah, when them were failing exams, what they is that when you had what example like AQA and them man. Hold on. Please, I don't want to forget it. That's right.
Yeah,
AQA and them man. Yeah. When them were failing, what they would do is for a particular subject, they would lower the pass mark for it because they wanted everyone to meet it. Like, it didn't look good on on like the board, the exam board subject, that people were failing the subject so bad. So the next year, what they would do is lower the pass mark so that more people would pass. When they do that, more people are passing. They're like, oh my days, them are passing. We need to put it back up for the next year. We don't need to do that in football. There's one bar and one bar only. Why are we lowering it down? Because the standard of football has dropped down. I'm not dealing in it because we still see players who are hitting that bar.
You know, the counter to that is though, it depends though, because each position is different in terms of all players hitting the bar. But let's reverse what we're talking about. The guys that were we regarded as some of the best wingers in the world a couple years ago, put them in today's era, certain man will be calling them Av. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like who?
Bro, if wingers ain't getting numbers, you're not going to be regarded as world class.
I'm
not giving specifics. I'm talking about the way we regard wingers today. You have to have numbers, right?
I'm sorry. I'm going to null and void that point because if you can't give me an example, I don't agree with it. Because I'm thinking of guys like Frank Ribery.
I'm not talking about examples. I'm talking about the premise. Listen to the point in terms of for a winger today, we expect numbers. I like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Take a winger from 10 years ago that was world class and put him in today's game. Certain people will say he's not world class.
But the reason what put Dino in this era is not world class.
No, Dino.
No, he's not saying that. But the reason why I disagree with that,
I'm saying a world class winger from back then might not be a world class winger right now.
The reason why I'm gonna
the
reason why I'm gonna know that again is because perfect example of that is we all watch basketball. What did Ray Allen say when he went on the jump when they were talking about eras? He said, if you give me the same amount of shots in my prime that Curry is given on his team, bro, I'd have the record and no one would be able to catch me. Like, obviously, yeah, fair enough. If you want to go into the specifics and we'd say Curry, some people still say Curry is the better shooter. But at the end of the day, his premise is right. He would have scored a lot more points in his career if he was given the amount of 3-point shooting opportunities Curry gets. And the thing is, we don't need to take that away. If you put them like Frank Ribery, Ian Robin in today's era, they will adjust. And they will score goals because the system will be created for them to adjust and get goals. Am I lying?
Great players.
That's a fair point, but it's not. Firstly, there's no way we can prove that. And secondly,
it's all hypotheticals.
Yeah, and then secondly, like, defending is a dying art. Do you get what I'm saying? I understand what you men are saying in terms of you want your defenders to defend, but if the standard is dropping, like, I don't know, man. I think it's obviously we shouldn't.
Defending is a dying.
It's not. We should judge the players as we should. No, the standard of defending is definitely dropping, man. Let's be honest.
No, they expect more things from defenders than just defending nowadays. So just defending isn't going to get you to a top club. We need you to be good on the ball and all that stuff.
Maybe
that's what I'm saying in terms of actual defending. The standards have dropped.
Maybe across the team, you could tell me that there's less emphasis on being a defensive team. Yeah. But a defender, you can't tell me, like, that's like saying, like, attackers, the emphasis isn't scoring goals. Like, no, like, you're a defender. Like Bobby, he's now somehow a hybrid enigma. I don't know. No,
but listen,
you're a defender by name.
He was the guy for a while.
No, bro, listen, we praise him because of his sacrifice and his work ethic, bro. Really and truly, innit? But fam, you're a defender by name. Yeah, your primary objective is to defend. Cool, you can do all that extra stuff going forward, and that is fine. That's perfectly fine. But you're a defender by name, bro. Like you can't cheat your position. Like your team has to be able to rely on you to defend, because in situations where you're 1-0 up in the Champions League final against a hard team and you have to defend, like what?
I don't disagree.
What, we can't rely on you now because you're just good going forward. No, you have to be able to defend.
I just think the same argument I'd make for. I wouldn't say that it's hard, innit? I just think that the parameters have changed. Like the goalposts have moved. I think.
Nadim, wrap it up for me, please.
So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. We don't think Trent is world class.
It's not. Look, like I said, I will not argue with someone who calls him world class. My premium is just different, innit? And I've slightly leaned into Josh in terms of I need my criteria strict because it works. Like it actually works.
Needs the criteria though.
No, I agreed. I never thought Robertson was world class. I always thought Trent was. As for his defending, you can kind of work on that. It's not. He's still young, and one-on-one defending, he just needs to get lower and to just not let his man beat him. Also, maybe we should start giving more credit to Joe Gomez, because for a while Joe Gomez was covering for Trent's mistakes. So maybe
but then Joe Gomez started making mistakes himself.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe because of Trent, because that right side looked weak.
I'm just gonna end it, fam.
Hey, but last point on this world class thing, innit? My theory is you can make an argument based on what you men are saying. There might never be a world class fullback ever again. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but if Trent was a substandard defender, no, but if Trent was a substandard, and that's the question. But if Trent was a substandard defender, we wouldn't be even questioning this. But he is a dire defender, as in he is a bad defender.
The question was, Darren. So what? At a certain point, we're gonna have to lower the standards.
No, I'm just saying. Adjust to the era. The era right now, the standard of defending has dropped.
So lower in the standard.
That's why when a guy is giving you madness going forward, he's compensating for that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Lower the standard.
You know the issue with that is,
but when you're talking about defending specifically, the standard has dropped.
So what you're saying? You're saying change the criteria then, base it more on what they give forward and what they do going back.
No, I'm just saying.
I would die before I that's what today's era is. I would die before.
That's what today's era is, though. That's what today's era is.
I think once you have your standard of world class, that's your standard of world class.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there.
Like I'm saying,
cheat the system.
Exactly. And if your world class criteria is that's you, then that's you in it. But I'm just saying, don't change it based on the era.
No, I understand what you men are saying, but like, I think I agree with you, man, to an extent. But there has to be some leeway because, as I said.
No, let's leave it there, innit? Darren, last point, yeah.
Yeah, if we see it the way, if I see it the way you man see it, in terms of, let's say we come to a decision that these are the things that you have to be world class. Like Trent is not good enough defensively to be world class. Do you know what I'm saying? You can make an argument that no fullback will ever give you what Trent gives you going forward and meet the mark that we're talking about defensively. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's tough because we're always going to keep responding to it, but like we said, Trent is in his own lane, so we're judging him on a different criteria of a fullback.
But that's the modern fullback.
But for example, João Cancelo is not giving you the numbers going forward that Trent would give you, but because he's giving you
enough going forward, though.
No, but because he's balanced backwards and forwards, he's easier to just slot in there. I just want to leave you there because there's still two more things to discuss, and obviously we've been spending a lot of time on this. But Nadim, I'll let you talk about this first, fam. The title challenges, 21 and 21. The man them, they've given it up. They said that they're not in it. But what do you think? What's your assessment of Manchester United? Like, what are Man United like? When you think about their season, everything that's happened, do you blame Oli the way a lot of United fans have? Do you blame the players? Like, because when I look at it, a lot of players have underperformed in that team. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've been given opportunities, but they've underperformed. So, like, what's your assessment of Man United and their title challenge?
Man United are the most confused I've ever been. They make me the most confused I've ever been in my life because they're second. They're 7 points off Man City.
Well, they're third now, innit? They're third now.
They're third now?
No.
Behind Leicester.
Are you above Leicester?
No, you're not. I don't think you are.
Aren't we?
No, you're not. You're
They
not.
must-
That's
No,
our second.
we are. We got better
Okay,
goal.
well, they're tied for second anyway.
Yeah.
They're tied for second. We routinely they routinely insult Ole for not doing this, but yeah, I don't think any of them would have expected them to be second anyway. But they're second, and then Ole comes out today and he says we're not giving up on the title challenge. But last week he said you were never in the title challenge. So I think even they are confused. So if they're confused, how am I supposed to know what they're saying?
Exactly.
I think, brother, I see United as a marathon runner who hasn't prepared fully for the marathon, but they're running, and across the way.
No,
they've
it's
looked up
Usain
now.
Bolt running cross country. That's what it is.
No, but they're running.
Facts.
They've-
Literally,
they've-
you
they've
say what?
looked up. They've looked up and they've only seen there's only one brother ahead of me. So
Yeah.
like I'm actually second. But they haven't prepared for this. Do you know what I mean? United did not prepare to be in a situation.
For real.
So now that they're here, all these
Don't know how to
bailout
act.
options,
Don't know how
all
to
these
act.
bailout options to say, you know what, we didn't prepare for this anyway. So even if we don't compete for the title, that's fine because we weren't supposed to be here anyway. And like me and Danny have said, when you are now in that position, the objectives have to change. They have to change. You can't have that same mentality as you did in pre-season because the facts have changed. You're now contending for a title. So you can't now go and tell your team that, we weren't supposed to contend anyway. That's nonsense.
Yeah, but
If you were
I
to
was
interview-
arguing with Daniel about that. Sorry, Nadim. I was arguing with Daniel about that. I was saying that, like, in terms of things have changed. That the position that we were in, we needed to do better. I believe we picked up 6 points out of our last 15. That is not good enough. Do you know what I mean? And I put a lot of it on Oli, man. I'm not exalting the players, but Oli, man, he's been getting it wrong a lot, and it's nothing new. As you said, Daniel, we're like Usain Bolt running the 800-meter race. Like, we might won the first 100 in like 9.5, but then the next 100 we're doing it in like 20 seconds. Do you get what I'm saying? And then we'll catch up again, and then we'll fall off again. And that my issue with that is we might be in a nice position in the table, but I still have no confidence going into next season, and that's not a coincidence. Do you know what I'm saying? Because what we're doing is not sustainable. What we're doing, I believe, is not a championship recipe. Do you know what I'm saying? All this just going into every game, hoping you're gonna win. That's not a recipe to be champions. Do you know what I mean? It might be nice in the short term, but
I still don't know what style of football I play, by the way.
I think it's unfair to say you have no confidence going into next season
Exactly.
because remember when
I'm talking titles, though. I'm talking titles. I'm not talking about top 4.
Yeah, but if you look at when United started the season, remember when we did that prediction for the website?
No one had United in the top 4.
We didn't. Ole, I am the biggest Ole critic,
Yeah, but
and I
that's
would
why-
say he's done a great job this season.
Nadim, sorry. I should have more confidence going into next season based on this season. Do you understand?
Why? But why don't you have confidence going into next season?
Because what we're doing is not sustainable. As Josh just said, we don't even have a style of play. We don't.
My point is, if I asked you what was Oli brought in to do? He was brought in to steady the ship. Has Oli steadied the ship? I only want yes or no because I just want to finish. Exactly. My point is getting onto someone who has got you to second, despite the fact that he's not the greatest of managers. How can you tell someone, like, how do you blame the person that you lot hired? How do you blame a 7 out of 10?
I didn't hire him, sir.
Obviously,
I'm not gonna.
No. But when we're talking, when we're as fans of the football club and we're giving our opinion, we're representing them. You know what I mean, fam?
No, but
how can you blame someone?
I understand what you're saying. I 100% understand. But my issue is, I don't care about steadying the ship in the big picture. We need to get back to winning trophies.
How can you say you don't care about that if that's what your club think? That's what you need to do.
Listen. I just agree with you. I just agreed with you that he's done a good job. He's steadied the ship. Do you know what I mean? He's brought some young G's in. I love the way he embeds the youngsters. Blah blah blah. I give him a lot of credit, but at the end of the day, the goal is to win trophies, and he still hasn't proven that he's capable of doing that. And that's the issue.
So the man that has essentially taken you into second position, where you're 7 points off the top. And yes, he's made some mistakes. I didn't like the lineup today. I would have preferred to see Van der Beek instead of one of McTominay or Fred, especially against West Brom. But
Not to say this was like every week, by the way, that McTominay and Fred will start.
Yeah,
But that's his truth.
And Maguire and Lindelof is the worst one, by the way. Now it's gotten to a point with those two that he's drunk. There's something wrong mentally because those guys are going to cost him his job.
But
Them
here's
man,
the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's the
joke.
thing.
Them man are an absolute joke, and he persists with them every week.
Well, we're complaining
There's
about
no
Ryan
excuse.
Lindelof. Egbai is usually injured. So what's the other alternative?
Exactly.
Like, what
I
is
was
it?
on the bench. I was on the bench.
Yeah. But then when Bailly gets injured, then the thing is, Ollie rushed him back too early. Fam, I remember, man. I'm not saying you did it, but I'm saying I remember United fans saying, why is he not playing Tellers? What happens? Shaw goes on a mad run of form, and now Shaw's in the team. No one's talking about Shaw and Tellers anymore. Like no one's mentioning, no one's bringing that up again. Fam, McTominay starts scoring, and then like people are still iffy about whether they want McTominay in the team, bro. At the end of the day, when managers have a trusted player or trusted players in their team, fam, how do you get onto a manager for having people that he trusts? Like, let's honor the process, fam.
My issue is you should have. It's less about the players that you should trust. You should trust your approach. You should trust what you're doing on the training ground. Do you know what I'm saying? Less about the players. Luke Shaw, you bring up Tellers. Like, I think Tellers coming, like, improved his performance. Got to give Ollie credit for getting the best out of Luke Shaw. For me, he's been terrific this season. But big picture, bro, you just can't trust anyone at the club, whether it's top to bottom. Like, it's just no.
How many points do United have right now?
That for me, it's irrelevant. For me, it's even irrelevant.
Those players, Ole, they went out there. They used any tactic they had in their head. They went to all these places and they won those games. They've had more points than Chelsea, Liverpool, all these teams. So they're doing something right. Are they making mistakes? Yes.
Nadim, my point even to that.
But we've been to semi-final.
Hold on, relax, hold on. And I'll even come to that point, fam. Josh, last year, would you have said, what's it called? The only reason why you were going into the season after with confidence is because you have Pep Guardiola, yeah? You would say, like, the season where you didn't win the league, the reason why you're going into the next season with confidence is because you have Pep and you trusted Pep will get it right. And that's because Pep's an experienced manager, yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
Fam, at the end of the day, my point is, how do you blame Ollie for his inexperience in knowing how to maneuver the situations? Hold on, because I know you're going to come. And even the person that you want to bring in, a Poch or a Nagelsmann, they haven't won trophies either. So what's to say that they're going to come in and do the job that you're asking them to do? What? Because they play pretty football. Idea football's going to kill us. It's going to kill us. The fact that man them have ideas. And bro, man them when Lampard got sacked, man them were telling me Hasenhuttl should be manager. Southampton haven't won a game in their last 6 or 7.
I got a question for Darren. If Jose Mourinho was in the same position as Ole, would you trust him?
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you. With the same players.
Same position.
I don't know because it's tough. It's tough.
Because I genuinely think
it's tough, Abi.
I don't think I would trust Jose if I'm being honest. I don't think I would.
So what manager would you trust? Only Pep.
That's my problem, though. That's why I said it's less about the players. You should trust what you're doing on the training ground, what you're drilling these players, how you're teaching them you want to play. It's all Josh, you said it. You don't even know how we play. You might tell me what Ollie tells these men pre-game. As in, what are his little nuggets that he's telling the man? I want to see this. I want to. They're gonna be spaces here. You can exploit this. Like, do you think that's happening?
Yes.
No, I think it's happening, and I think you're doing him a mad disservice saying that there's no tactics and it's all vibes. Like, obviously we banter about it, but fam, at the end of the day, can you blame Ollie for who Martial is? Martial didn't just start playing badly under Ollie. He's been
okay, but you know why I blame Ollie for playing Martial? Mason Greenwood was one of our best players last week, and
Mason Greenwood's been dead this season, though.
No, Mason Greenwood the past month has been playing his best football of the season. And yet, let me finish. Whenever he plays well, he gets dragged off. Whenever he plays well, he'll sit on the bench the following game. McTominay and Fred has been poor for a month now. He sticks with Fred. Lindelof and Maguire have proven they are shit. Yet they play every week, even if it's Scott McTominay banging centre back, bro. Lindelof and Maguire is recipe for disaster. Just bang anybody else there.
When it's all said and done, United are second. with all this trust that he has in these players. I will say this, and I'm not the biggest Ole fan, but I think people are massively underplaying what he's doing.
Hold on. Because I agree. Let me make this point, Daniel. Innit? I've given him his credit. Listen, he steadied the shit. I don't disagree with anything you man are saying, but I'm already on to the next chapter of Manchester United. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Who should write that next chapter?
Listen, I'm screaming Nagelsmann in all day, but I'm not even saying that he's gonna listen. It's not my job to hire the manager.
Nagelsmann, who slapped his head all over Old Trafford.
I have another question. Is that Man United team that you see?
Champions League, by the way, let's bear that in mind. With no striker, and he ripped us to pieces.
That Man United team that you see, the squad as is assembled, is that a title-winning squad?
No chance. Take Bruno out of that team, and we're bottom half of the table.
But they second.
Bottom half of the table.
But they second.
And you man know that's facts.
but they're second. They're second with the team that you don't think can win a title.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not putting so much stock in it, because I don't think it's sustainable. At the end of the day, if it's not a title, then it's irrelevant, because
you give Bruno more credit than Oli for where you are, yeah?
Is that even a question? I should even slap you through this stream yard.
So what? If another manager comes in, has a better philosophy, and you can see a clear pattern of play than Oli comes in, so Nagelsmann comes in, but you don't finish second, will you still be saying it's better than what you saw under Oli?
You have to take everything into account, innit? But if the style of play is better, I'm seeing developing players that going into next season, I'm expecting to take a jump. I'm seeing a solid defense. I would have to break it down. But if I'm seeing something that's more sustainable, I'd rather finish fourth, or even if it means finish outside the Champions League spots, because there's no guarantee this season that we're gonna get Champions League, by the way. Even if it means finishing outside the Champions League, I'd rather have something that I can say the next 2-3 years we're gonna be in the mix.
The crazy thing is that Arsenal are 10th, and I would take being second in the league right now.
Yeah, and Daniel was saying that he wishes he was they were in Manchester United's position not long ago as well.
I just don't see how much to complain about.
Exactly. Amanda was saying no.
Every team outside City wishes they were in United's position,
and they had things to
until you're in United's position. By the way,
hold on, I'm saying United have things to United fans have every right to criticize and say they want things better for their team, especially with how successful United have been.
But that's how most things are in life. Everything's happy and dandy until you're in that same position that you're talking about, and it's not as rosy as you think.
No, I don't see. I'd even disagree.
I think most teams would be second and take your chances.
I'm not just talking about the position on the table. I'm talking about
the future,
the sustainability aspect of it. Because Liverpool finished fourth and the following season they built on it. I don't see us doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
You have to give them a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Because you finished third last season.
I'm just talking about my level of confidence, and it's not high.
No, that's fair enough.
The Liverpool fans having Klopp for him to do that when they finish fourth.
Fam, Klopp had won trophies. Klopp had proven himself to be a top manager, more so than Oli, definitely.
Yeah, no, and do you know what? I'd even give you the faith in the manager, but my point is, and I'm gonna end it here in it because we could go on forever about it. Sure. But fam, I'm just gonna say that if Nagelsmann comes in and you're fifth, Man United fans aren't, and you see a better style of football, United fans aren't going to say because we see a better style, we're gonna
As I said, it's not down to just the style. As I said, if I'm seeing developing players, if I'm seeing units, as in a back four that I feel like can be something for the future, bro, I'll definitely prefer that, because it's not a flash in the pan. I'm tired of being this moments team that was shit for 80 minutes and we scored a double in the last 10 minutes of the game, get the win.
Used to love it when it was Fergie time, though.
Fam, they used to love it.
Listen, Fergie time you weren't playing shit football for 80 minutes.
Anyway, bro. No, let's leave it, man. Last topic that I wanted to get into is I don't know, recently we've been seeing a lot of goalkeeper errors, innit? Lloris, Alisson.
Yep.
Kepa's been out of the firing line,
Pickford's always
and
making
he's been
mistakes.
poor. Pickford's always making mistakes. So like, fam,
Even De Gea's been poor.
De Gea, yeah, I was even gonna say De Gea's been poor, but Emi Martinez, man, that brother, he's been doing his thing. Like he's been doing his
I
thing.
remember I was talking to you, man, that they made a mistake in getting Leno in the first place. This is why I was saying that.
The reason why I was disagreeing in terms of mistake is that Arsenal don't go any higher than they are now with Emi Martinez and goal
Thank
over
you.
Leno, because Leno
Yeah,
has
but
been good as well. Leno's been
Emi
good.
Martinez is a better goalkeeper, so moving forward, you'd be better off with
No,
Emi
but
Martinez.
I'm not completely sold on that.
Fam, and that's the argument. That's
Emi.
that's the point we're gonna make. Is Emi Martinez what?
He's
Is
better
he
than
one?
Leno.
Is he one? First of all, the most informed keeper right now, and is he top two already? Like best keepers in the league.
Can I go
Because
first?
I still think, despite the mistakes, Alisson is still number one. But yeah, Nadim.
Here's the thing.
Wait, before you start, tell me your top 5 goalkeepers in the league.
Oh, Alisson, Edison. What's his name? Probably. That's a tough one. Schmeichel is in there. I don't know. Schmeichel's in there. Martinez will probably be in there now. Leno and De Gea, and they'll round it out anyway. But I think that I named 6. I'll have to think about this one.
Even Lloris has been poor as well.
Lloris has been he's been poor for the last 2-3 years, but his bat's been very quiet. As for Martinez, here's the thing. I remember Tiger Woods said that if you want to be great, and he was asked to compare about Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and he said that greatness takes. Everyone can do it for a week, everyone can do it for a month, everyone can do it for 6 months. Go do it for a year, go do it for 2 years, and go do it for a longer period than that. Alisson and Edison have been the best 2 goalkeepers for the last couple to 2-3 years, essentially, in the league. Martinez has been on a 5.5-month purple patch. I'm not going to put him ahead of those 2 right now. Is he the most informed? I think him and Schmeichel and Edison are the 3 top keepers for like.
I wouldn't even say Edison's been informed, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Edison either. Last season he was poor.
Very poor.
He's been sturdy. He's been good.
Fine. Okay, but those 3 have been.
I get you.
So for me, he's as an Arsenal fan, I watched a lot of Aston Villa games, so I've loved seeing him play, and I think he's playing incredible football. But I need to see more than the end of last season and a few months of this season for me to say that you're the best keeper or the second best keeper or something in the world. Because if we're talking about goalkeeper mistakes as well, he did have a couple the other day against West Ham as well. So it's not like he's been absolutely perfect. But has he been good? Yes. Top 2 right now? No, I still say Alisson and Edison. They have that mantle for right now. Until
Yeah, I think Schmeichel's above him as well. Still,
yeah, I have Schmeichel. I even have Leno, but it'll call me biased. But I still don't think Martinez is. I don't know what Martinez does better than maybe.
Yeah,
I don't think he does anything clear of Leno.
I think the goalkeeper position is the worst position in football. I'll say that now, point black and center. It's the worst position in football.
Wow.
For Martinez, the reason why I don't really like getting into debates about goalkeepers is simply because I think to be a top class goalkeeper, it takes years on your resume. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think is a yearly thing, or you can judge it by a few months, or do you get what I'm saying? Or even by a season. I think it takes years, man. Look across the board at the best keepers in the world, and look how consistent they've been for years. Do you know what I'm saying? Even minus even Edison and Alisson, bro. Look at the likes of Neuer. Look at the likes of Oblak. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these are man that like their CVs are stacked, bro, across years. Do you know what I'm saying? And it takes even longer than like the centre back position. Personally, I think it's a position that, do you know what I mean? Of course, players, keepers can come in and have good stints here and there, but yeah, man. For me, I think it's much too premature. I will answer the question as to yes, he is the most informed keeper at the moment. Of course, I don't think you can really deny that, man. But for me personally, I think that's as far as I'll go, man. Because yeah, like I said, brothers, it's the worst position in football, bro. I wouldn't want to be a goalkeeper. Because literally, bro, he could play 4 games now. Yeah, his next 4 games he could play shocking, and then what are we gonna say? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, he just had a great run in form, and now he's back to where we kind of thought he would be. This is why Arsenal let him go. Blah blah blah. Do you know what I'm saying? That so Yeah, man. Come back. We'll have this conversation in about 3 years, though. I'm down for that. But
It might
as
be
of
the
now,
loneliest position in sports.
Yeah, two separate points I was making in terms of the Arsenal point wasn't associated to what you were saying, Josh. My thing with the Arsenal thing was moving forward, you would rather have Emmy than Leno. That's my stance. But in terms of is he on form? I'd say yes, best keeper right now on form. But I wouldn't say I agree with you, Josh. He's not like top 2 in the league or anything. There's still bare man ahead of him. But I say moving forward, there's not many keepers that you have ahead of him right now. You say for the next 3 to 5 years, how many keepers do you want above him?
I think what it is
Wait,
with me.
first of all-
Go on.
No, I was like, it's not like he's on 23 year old. He's 28. Like he's not this young guy. He's the same age as Leno, so he's been around a while.
My thing is though, like with the Emmy thing, the reason why, I hear it, like I'm not into the arguing who's better, Emmy or Leno. I think the preference is, I think if I had a choice, I'd choose Emmy. But my thing is, like, that isn't changing your, like, whether your title, like, it's not like a Laureus. I mean, it's not like a Karius to Allison jump. Like, bro, these men are debatable. They're in the same.
Listen, and how much will Leno cost? 40 mil. Extra 40 mil right now for it's like 100 mil.
Nah, it was very cheap. Like
Leno?
he was like 40 mil, bro.
Leno's like 40 mil.
Leno.
Yeah.
Let me check
40,
this.
extra 40 mil for us.
Now watch his him sheet change. Watch.
It wasn't 40 mil. It wasn't 40 mil.
I saw it was 40 mil.
It was
22.
22.5.
Oh,
They changed it, man.
Are you sure, man?
Are you
It wasn't
sure?
40,
Maybe
it
those
wasn't 40,
add-ons.
it wasn't
Maybe those add-ons.
Man said 20 mil add-ons
Wait,
for a keeper.
Daniel, how much was Mendy? How
Edward
much was
Mendy,
Mendy?
like 16 mil or something like that.
Hey, are you
It was
not
40
sure?
mil?
Leno was
Nah, are you
22?
not sure?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Fam, I'm looking
They
at it right
done
now.
something, man. They changed it, man.
Yeah, I'm
They changed
not
it,
sure. I'm not sure. I'm
I'm
not
Nah,
sure.
telling
it
you,
definitely
fam.
was. It definitely
I'm
was.
telling you.
Because I remember when they bought Leno.
Maybe it was 20
right
mil
now.
up front. 20 mil up front.
That's what I was saying, Josh. But an extra 20 mil for Arsenal right
not
now. That's
spent to
huge. That's huge.
What do you mean? No,
I'm
no,
saying
come
to
on, bro.
spend.
No, because it's because you had. It's not that deep, in my opinion. I think it's a stretch. Like, to
No, I'm
say-
not saying this, bro. I'm just saying. I'm not saying
If Arsenal had Martinez, are they higher than where they are in the table right now?
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying moving forward, would you rather have Emmy, the better keeper, and more money, or would you rather have Leno?
Wait, why would they have more money? Because they got
100
money.
million.
They got
20
money.
million more money.
Because you wouldn't have paid for Leno, innit?
You could have got yourself an extra player.
But at the time when they paid for
20 million
Leno,
more is nothing.
we didn't
20
know.
million.
They didn't know that Martinez was going to be this.
I know, and I understand that. But that's why if you spent 10 years at the club, it's your responsibility to know.
Yeah, but the guy went on countless loans. He played in countless Carabao Cups and FA Cup matches.
That's
and
still your problem. You should know how good the player that you have is.
No, I'm sure
Not
they knew.
necessarily. I disagree.
But-
I don't even agree with that because, fam, ceilings are one of the hardest things to judge in football, bro.
100%.
A ceiling.
Pep,
a
I'm not
ceiling.
talking about
bought-
ceiling, though. I'm
Pep when he
talking
bought
about
Gundo,
doing
didn't
it
think Gundo's going to do
immediately.
this, bro. Pep didn't
No,
think
but
Gundo's
it's
going
not-
to do
No,
this.
it is a ceiling. It is a ceiling.
No, because as soon as he got put into when Leno got injured, he was performing. That was
Wait,
When
what?
when Leno got injured though, he was one of the best keepers. Like, he was so informed. Like, when he got injured,
Leno or Emmy.
when Leno got injured,
Leno.
he was in form. Remember
Yeah, but
when
I'm
Leno
saying-
got injured in the Brighton game? He was an in-form keeper, like a keeper playing well, like playing at the top of his game, shot stopping.
Yeah.
We said the weaknesses in his game were probably maybe his distribution, like maybe he didn't kick well enough. But at the end of the day, he was a very, very good, solid keeper. Martin has had a nice, strong purple patch. Now it's left to the manager to decide whether to go with the keeper that I've been with, that's been at the club for 2 years and has been consistently performing well and hasn't let me down, or go with the person who had 6 very, very fantastic months. You can't
understand
criticize
that.
him for choosing
I
Leonard.
understand
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that, but my counter would be: did they know Emmy was ready to step in before Leno got injured? Do you know what I
He
mean?
was the second choice keeper, so obviously they knew he was ready.
Yeah,
to
they knew
step
he was
in.
good.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Why did it take you so long to know? He spent 10 years at the club. Why did it take you so long to know?
Because maybe he never showed that kind of form.
And what if he showed because we can't pinpoint the exact moment when Emmy showed the club he was a quality keeper. What if he showed the club he was a quality keeper when Leno was in playing well? Like, what do you do then? You have two good. Like, it's like when Chelsea had Czech and Courtois, fam. Like, before Czech went to Arsenal, Czech was still a very, very like when Arsenal fans bought Czech. Yeah, when Arsenal bought Czech, they thought they were getting top of the quality range keepers, like in the form of his life. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you have to pick who you want. It's just that Chelsea made like it looked the better decision. But it's because of age and everything that came into it. Like Czech and Courtois, massive jump in ages. Leno and Martinez are the same age. I don't think
it's a minor point in it. I'm just saying I think they'd be better off with Emmy. That's just the way I see it.
It's because I think where the argument comes is the choice of word, isn't it? Better off, what does that imply?
I'm not saying they're going to win trophies or anything, but do you want a better keeper or a worse keeper? It's that simple.
Again, the wrong adjectives for me.
But then the team that sees them train every single day will tell you that they have the best. They have the better keeper anyway.
True.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying you should have known Emmy was capable of what he's doing at Villa. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fam, it's up in the air, man. It's up in the air to be honest.
It's a minor thing anyway.
Yeah. When you look at, and then final point though, when you look at or just to wrap up the episode, when you look at how the league is panning out and everything, I mean, we've been doing this every week. Obviously, we're still going to stand by our predictions and whatnot that we made at the beginning of the season. A certain someone said Tottenham are finishing the top 4, which they still could
you might was shaking your boots when I said that. I was like, don't try it, bro. Don't try it.
But like now it's looking a bit nuts. I mean, Everton just lost today to Fulham 2-0. Josh Maja, my guy. Hey, my guy. Remember you, man? Just remember the name Josh Maja, isn't it? This guy is gonna be. Obviously, I'm not saying he's gonna be world class or anything. But this guy, this is my guy. Huh?
That's why he had a double, Sam.
Yeah, he scored twice. I've been screaming for this guy to come Premier League for time. Listen, because I watched the Sun. And do you know? Let me not go off course. But the point is, Chelsea are now 5th. They could go into 4th position for the first time in a while. They could go back in the top 4 tomorrow if they beat Newcastle. And like, when you look at how the top 4 race is panning, like it's 2 questions. Who are the sides? Is there even, apart from Man City, is there even any guaranteed side? 1 and 2. If Liverpool do not finish in the top 4, that has to be like,
listen, see
one of them.
If the season
biggest
finishes and they're not in the top 4, I'm actually just gonna be quiet and I want to listen to you, man. Kill Klopp. That whole segment. I don't want to hear it. No, because it's madness. No, it's madness. Off the back of a title-winning campaign, you want to finish outside the top 4.
That would be earth-shattering.
Oh god. But anyway, we'll see.
What about the teams that you? What about the teams you think will finish? Because obviously you said not too long ago that Chelsea won't finish in the top 4. Are you changing or are you convinced by Tuchel? Because obviously we changed managers since then. Now, do you know what I'm saying? So, what's your opinions on that, Josh?
Well, I said they won't finish in the top 4.
Yeah, you said they won't finish 2 weeks ago, fam. You and Darren said they won't finish in the top 4.
No, I think Josh said they will.
I said they will, bro.
Yeah, I said you won't.
Oh, is that what? Darren, yeah. Have you changed then? Sorry, I'll divert the question. Or do you think it's done? Not done, but obviously.
I think it's between. If I'm being honest, I think Liverpool will get top 4. So I think it's between you and Leicester for that last spot. And that James Justin injury is huge. Yeah, I mean, but they got Soyuncu back. But
I think someone else went off injured yesterday in that game. That was it. Perez as well. Yeah.
I'm saying, and this is the same thing that happened the back in the last season.
Last year, yeah.
I'm saying, so listen, it's between you two, but for now, I'll still Tuchel's been impressive, but yeah, I'll still take Leicester for now.
Fair enough. What about you, Nadem?
It's tough because what could really happen is Tottenham might end up winning the next 6 games and they're second or something like that.
Not with that back line.
I really want to see Leicester do it, but something tells me that Chelsea aren't done this season either. So that final day is going to be interesting. I'll probably still take Leicester because, but I still think we're in for a shake-up. It's not staying the same way. The way it is right now, it's not staying.
There's only one.
I think I'll take Chelsea, you know.
You think the 3 would be... So the 3 will basically... You men are basically saying Man United are guaranteed to finish in the top 4, yeah?
I'm not
guaranteed. But if I was going to choose...
I think so. There's no way you're not capitulate like that.
No, I only think the only team that's guaranteed is Man City. I think everybody else still
Exactly.
has
And
to fight.
Liverpool are got a better chance.
But Darren, you man have the best player in the Prem, bro. Bruno. You know should be able to finish top 4, bro. I like. You man have PFA Bruno now.
And that's where we will wrap it up for this week. It's been a great episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode, fam. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video, do all of that good stuff for us. Subscribe, man. Subscribe, people. We're trying to push to 250. We're trying to make that huge push.
Fam, we're here on Valentine's Day, bro. Man could have been, you know what I mean? But,
You think we're not all occupied, fam?
Nah, you know what? Nah, allow me.
Nah, 100%, man. But yeah, man, just show us some love. And we appreciate everyone who subscribed, who's commented, who does the great things, the little things that we see behind the scenes. Make sure you catch some of the great episodes that we've had, bro. The Beautiful Game podcast episode that we had just recently was fire, man. So you don't want to miss that. You can catch it up. We're going to be bringing you back some NBA content this week as well. So there's a lot more stuff in store, man. Just keep subscribing, keep liking, keep doing all that great stuff. And from all the guys at Eyes on the Ball, fam, we out.
Deuces.